Hey everyone, today I'm going over my monthly budget planner, which is a new printable in my shop that I will be using every month to do my budget this year, and I will be showing you how I'm setting up my 2020 planner. So let's get started. Hi everyone, I am setting up my 2020 Happy Planner budget printable Frankenplan situation. So basically I made myself printables this year and I am going to use those to do my entire year of budgeting and put them all in this big Happy Planner just so I can hit the punches and be done. I am super excited about it. So let's get started going through it. I'm going to show you everything that I have in here and kind of go over my monthly budget planner. So this is a 2020 calendar page just so I can see all of the months at once. And then each month I'm going to have a cover page that has all of the dates and just laid out so I can see them, and then a section for monthly goals and monthly to-dos. And then I have already started my January budgeting, so I have my monthly budget and then paycheck budgets after that. But that is all part of my new monthly budget planner, and this is in my Etsy shop. It is literally just something I made for myself, but of course I love to share everything that I make for myself in my Etsy shop in case anyone is interested, just because I know not everyone has the time to make themselves printables and make themselves things that they can use, and I honestly don't always either, but when I do make something I want to share it. So this is my monthly budget planner, and it just has a couple of little things on the front to remind me of like my goals and some of the things I think about budgeting. So this says budgets give you the freedom to live the life you want. Decide what you want, write it down, and work toward it daily. Don't give up what you want most for what you want now. And remember, perfection is not required, but consistency is. So these are all just things I tell myself, and I like having them in here so I can read them again. Then I do have a couple calendar pages. So depending on the month, I'll either use this one, because sometimes it'll be like 6 weeks and you'll have a day start here and then it's really 5 weeks. But I wanted to have this so I can have all of my monthly bills written out on one sheet. I basically want to see at a glance where everything is, and they do have, obviously the Happy Planner has this option, and that's what I've used for the last couple of years, but I wanted it on just one page instead of on a 2-sheet spread like Happy Planner does. And then this is new in the shop and to the channel, but basically I took what we normally do before I create a budget. I usually just scratch it out on a sheet of paper, and I made it a little bit more formal, and I gave myself the space to write down all of the things that I normally do every month before we create our budget. At the top, there's a section for monthly goals, and we usually have 2 to 3 goals, so I gave myself room for 3. And then important dates. This is something that we have to go over every month because there's always at least a birthday or an event or something that we're gonna do during the month. And this just gives us space to write the date, what the event is, and how much we're gonna spend on it. So if it's a concert, there's a certain amount, or if there is a birthday, how much we're gonna spend on that. So it just gives us an idea of what we need to save. And then one-time expenses, this can also be things that are like a party or signing up for softball or a sport, something like that. Like this month we had, my husband had to sign up for a rec league now for playing in a few months, so we had to budget $65 for that. And then down here is just some monthly to-dos. If I am doing something specific that month, like a grocery challenge or a pantry challenge or something, and I need to make a list of everything in my pantry, that would go down here. Or if I am doing a no spend and I need to stock up and plan for that, it would all go down here. So it's just kind of to get you ready to create your budget for the month. You can also use this to pre-plan before a paycheck budget. I just use it once a month when we're creating our overall plan for the month for the budget. And then I created myself a monthly bills due sheet because I am really bad at remembering the actual due date of bills. So I wanted a 1 sheet, or I'll probably do 2 since we have a little bit more bills, but basically I wanted to have a place to write who I owe, what I owe, and when it's normally due. So we have the same bills every month, like our phone bill and our utility and stuff like that. So I wanted to have it on a sheet of paper so that I know when it's actually due, because I have a lot of things on auto draft and I tend to forget the due date, but I want to make sure it's been paid. And that is what this is for. So then I have a monthly budget sheet, and then I have a different monthly budget sheet, and I'll use one or the other depending on what's going on that month. And then I have a paycheck budget sheet, which you guys have all seen these. They are a little different in my budget planner that's on Etsy, just because I designed them in a different program. I wanted to learn a new program. I had been using Canva, but now I'm using something else, and they are a little bit different. They're pretty much the exact same, I'll be honest, but they are slightly different just in the size and the text and everything. So very minor differences. And then I did create a new printable that is a budget sheet, and this is for, it can be either for monthly or paycheck. It really doesn't matter, but basically you can put the month and then the dates this is for, and the starting balance in your checking account if you start at a certain date. And then you do income, fixed expenses, variable expenses, and then income minus your fixed expenses minus your variable expenses is the balance you have left, and a little room for notes and goals. So I just made a very clean, very simple sheet that you can use. And all of these do have room on both sides. So if you want to print them front and back, you can. I don't love having a lot of space on the side, but I wanted to make sure that if I wanted to, I could print them front and back and still be able to like get them on both sides. So you can do it either way. So it has space on either side. So I did do that, thinking of people that do like to save paper and not print just on one side. And if you have heavy paper, you can't see through it. I have pretty light paper, but if you print these on pretty heavy paper, you can do both sides really well. And then I have a new monthly bills tracker, which is just to list out all the bills you have, the due dates, amount due, amount paid, and then how you paid it. And then when it is actually paid, you can check it off, because I love checking stuff off of to-do lists. And the method is just something that came up because this month I could not remember what our Netflix was paid by, and it's from my husband's debit card, but I could not figure it out. So having a spot to put where it's coming from, like my debit card or his debit card or our credit card, which we use for bills, that could be really helpful. So that's why we have that. And then spending tracker. So we do have a spending tracker here, and this is just for like groceries and on the go and stuff that you would use a cash envelope for. I do have another tracker for that, but if you want to just keep it all in one place, this spending tracker is how I plan to do it. And then the transaction log, I created for sinking funds specifically, but it can be used in different ways. It could be used for a cash envelope as well. You can basically just write the transaction, how much you took out, how much you added, and the balance at the end for the category. But I created it for sinking funds. It could be used either way. It's just a clean, easy sheet to keep track of actual transactions in and out of either an envelope or a sinking fund. Then we have the weekly check-in. I don't always do these, but when I'm trying to be very strict, I do weekly check-ins, and I do groceries and gas and my personal spending and unbudgeted, because those are categories where we tend to get a little bit crazy. So this is similar to the weekly check-in pages that people do with stickers. It's just very clean and very simple. So there's not a lot going on here, but you can print it out every month, and it's got 5 weeks for the months that have 5. And then of course, if you don't have 5, you can do the 4. Back here, I have a cash envelope tracker. You could keep this in your planner, or you can print it off and cut these out. Either way, this is a very simple cash envelope tracker if you want to keep track of your envelopes. It is a little bit bigger. It's designed for my bigger cash envelope, so it doesn't fit super small ones. I will throw that out there. It could fit these, but it might be a little tight. So as you can see, it's basically like the exact size of my smallest cash envelope, and it fits the larger ones really well, but it is designed for that size, so it's not a super tiny tracker. And then I have cash breakdown cards. A lot of people use these. I don't really use them because I mostly always get 20s, and I'm just like 20s all day because I like that, but I'm not I'm pretty simple when we get our cash because we do only certain categories and only certain amounts that tend to end up being a 20. So if you do use cash breakdown cards, these are available in that planner, and I've already scratched up my page with my nail polish. That's funny. And you can write down the quantity you need and the total, and then the date and the cash amount you're getting out. And I did add coins because that was requested by a couple people. And the final page of my planner, my monthly budget planner, is the budget recap page. So I think evaluating how you did on things and what you can do better is super important. That's something I do in my personal life and in therapy a lot. So I do have a section for reflection, things you're grateful for, because this is not all about money. It is also about being grateful for what we have and being content, because when you're content, you aren't super spendy and trying to fill that hole in your soul with stuff that costs money. And then there's a section for things that can be improved next month and 3 things that worked well this month with your budget. So this is my monthly budget recap page, and I just like having a nice sheet to work through all of the stuff that I used to just literally scratch into notebooks. So I feel very organized with this system, and it's literally designed off of the way I used to write out stuff in my planner that I never showed you guys because it was ugly. So now I have a pretty version and I can show you. And then of course, I do already have the January pages I started, and I am going to be printing this off and adding it for each month because I do have all of the month pages already in my planner, and I am right now about to print out the sections that I need for each month. So in February, you will see this for the first time fully filled out. I did not finish this before January like I had planned because I was out of town. So I did finish it, and February will be the first month I fully complete it. But I'm super excited about this, and I really wanted to show you guys because I'm so proud of myself for making it, and I am super excited to be using it and to be feeling more organized for the new year. I cannot rely on my memory, so I have to have stuff written down, and having this in my planner is going to be very, very helpful when I do all my budgets. And that's it, guys. So that is the monthly budget planner and my calendar pages for the year. I might do like a vision board type, a vision board for 2020 on the front cover. Actually, that's what I'm gonna do. So I will be back at some point to show you what I've done with my cover. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you loved it. And if the budget planner can help you, it is in my Etsy shop. Thank you guys for all the support on my shop. It's been awesome.